All right, guys. Welcome to the fifth podcast of the PG Talk. And today, yours truly is invited to the podcast. And today, I'll be introducing our two guests, Pablo and Wedo.
What's up?
What's up, everybody?
So we tried something new. The last time we had a guest on, we introduced them, but this time we're having a guest introduce us. See how it goes.
See?
Yep. So this is Andy. He's our second guest of the PG Talk podcast. How you doing, Andy?
Pretty good.
Pretty good, man.
How about you?
Pretty good.
And you, Pablo? How was your day?
It was good. I did a lot of studying today, which I normally don't do on Mondays, but
Mm.
other than that, it was pretty good.
Talking about studying. While I was studying on campus, I saw somebody that looked just like you, bro. Like, it was...
Was it the same guy you saw?
Dude, literally the exact same guy. Like literally the same guy that I saw, and I tried to scare, and I literally went up to him, and was like hiding behind the wall, and we were like.
At this point, I gotta meet this guy.
Dude, bro, it looks just like you. Like, I was walking out, I was gonna go print out something, and I was like, oh, that's Widow, and I was like, I'll check out on him after I get my papers printed. And then I got closer to him, I was like, wait, that's not him. And I walked back out, bro.
Dude, it's low-key a little freaky how similar you guys look. And it's like you guys have like very similar head shape, and the glasses are almost identical. You know what gives it away?
What?
He's got like a skinnier face, and his nose is bigger and more pointier. So
I need to see this guy.
yeah, that's literally the only thing that gives it away.
We were joking about you're gonna meet him. You're like, is that me?
You're gonna walk up and be like,
You're like, wait, what am I doing here?
you're like, bro, you me?
Oh, dude.
Yeah. Well, shoot, Andy. I've got a decent amount of things prepared for you, just because I was really looking forward to this. Well, I mean, I say you give us maybe a little more introduction about yourself. Like, I would not necessarily where you're from, but like personally, I think you're a really smart guy. Like, I've known you for like maybe 3 months. No, like a couple months now. The first day we met, I was drunk as crap.
Well, when was that? Was that for Karen's birthday?
That's the first day we met.
For real?
Yeah, at Val's.
Yeah.
Yeah, we met there, and then we drank a lot, and then that was our first impression, just like getting really drunk. Yeah. Yeah, but like, I don't know, I want to get to know you a little more. I don't really like know like your backstory. Like, in my eyes, you're like a really motivated dude, and like, I don't know, I feel like you know a bunch about a lot, and like, I just want to know like how you got there.
I don't know. I feel like it's good to know a little bit about everything. That way you can talk with anybody. Like, if you have an interest, it's easier for me to connect with anybody else if I'm able to, like, relate the similar topic, you know?
Right.
And then, I don't know, I'm a very curious person. If something interests me, I'll Google it right in the moment. So, and it's actually, like, meeting new people, you learn more about the topic, you know?
So then going back to that, like, because I'm kind of the same way, but I lose like my not my interest, but like my memory on what I just learned really quick. I don't have very good like recall of my memory, but you do.
I don't know why, but I feel like that varies from person to person, you know? Maybe because I try to make it like a personal connection with it, you know? Like, if I talk about a certain topic and I remember talking about somebody, I remember this person with this certain topic. Does that make sense?
Yeah, because like on campus we'll be sitting there studying, and literally like every 10 minutes, or that's exaggerated, obviously, but like at least once every day or a couple times every day, there'll be someone that comes up to him and is just like, yo, what's up, man? Like, long time no see. And I'm like, dude, how many people have you not seen?
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah, because like if they do like a small favor for me, like let me borrow their pencil, or like we like talk, and you know how they do like group projects.
Yeah.
I always like to keep in touch. Like, even if I see them like very rarely, I still say wave at them hi, you know. And that's how I keep like meeting new people. Like, randomly, one time we were talking about watching a Champions League game, and the guy next door heard us over like talking about it. He's like, "Oh, I know a website where you can watch this," and I was like, "All right." And then you just ask them for their names, and then you go from there.
Yeah.
And then you know, it's like how guys meet is kind of different, because you're like, you see each other, and eventually you shake up once, and you just become friends, you know?
Honestly, like, it's that easy. Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Also, I just got a word from our producer. Pause on that our heads are kind of cut off of the video. So if you just want to scoot in a little more, Pablo, like
Scoot in.
Yeah. Yeah, but like I feel like it's a lot easier for guys to like become friends than girls, because I don't know. Personally, I think girls are really judgmental. Like guys are like, "Oh, what's up, man? Cool." It's like, "Oh, we shook hands that one day. How you doing, man?"
I feel that personally.
Yeah, like with you guys, like meeting you guys, I feel like it was like we just clicked right away. Like with Pablo, I only met him once. We just shook up. We shook up hands. We were like, "Oh, he's a cool guy," and then we worked out together. And from there, it just went from there.
And so like for the podcast, right? So the way he kind of got introduced into our group is he had a class with Karen, my wife, and then one of her friends, and Karen had told me, she was like, "Oh, there's this guy that just joined our group, and like he's real cool, really chill, like motivated guy. He's like, you would like him." And I don't know, have you heard the story? Maybe.
Yeah, I think I have.
Okay. So, sorry to say it for the podcast then, but so then we all decided because we all want to go work out at NASA. So then that's when we first met. So it was me, Karen, friend, and then Andy, and we all showed up, and we all worked out. And then like first thing I did when I saw him, like, "What's up, bro?" You know, that's my thing. I just do that, and then worked out really chill. I think I PR'd on sumo deadlifts that day.
Damn, you
405.
sumo deadlift?
Yeah. Hey, bro. It still counts.
What's wrong about sumo deadlifts?
I'm not gonna lie, man. I was at the gym the other day with Gabby, and I tried it, and it low-key was kind of hard. I did 135, and I'm like, this 135 feels a little different.
It's because it's a different set of muscles.
Yeah.
In your legs, you know what I mean? So if you're not used to training or working those out for a deadlift, it's so much different. Because conventional, you train conventional all the time.
I mean, that's all I do.
Right. So you go to sumo, and then you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
So it's like if you were to do sumo the whole time, and then one day you just went to conventional. Like, it'd be the same thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we worked out, and then I think like not even that much longer. Like it literally feels like I've known you for like 2-3 years.
Which is crazy because I've known you for not even a year, and I feel like we're like best friends.
Bro,
That's literally
Like
what
I feel like we're best friends, but I like feel like I know nothing about you.
I was thinking it in my head. I was like, I really don't know these guys for a whole year yet, and I feel like I've known them for like forever.
Earlier we were talking about Poncho in the library, and then I was talking to him. I'm like, that was
Shout out to him if you're watching.
Yeah, dude. Honestly, shout out, bro. But like, I was telling him about Poncho, and I was like, "Oh yeah, Poncho." And then I'm like, "Oh wait, I'm like, you know who the fuck that is?" Like,
Yeah.
But in my head, I feel like he knows all the guys, but he obviously doesn't.
I know, yeah.
It's so weird.
It's funny how that works, to be honest.
Yeah, because some people like you know them for forever, and like you don't really get that close. Like I was telling him, like I know a lot of people, and I know a lot of people for like a long time, but to bring them into like my family, to get to know my family and stuff, it's very rare.
I think it also depends on like when you meet that person, because like personally when I met people in high school, I just kind of like wasn't really like that like close of friends compared to like now as like a grown up. When I make friends, I'm like, oh, like if I'm not really like liking the vibe of somebody, I'll just like kind of like not even talk to them. But like if I'm clicking with them, I'm like, oh, bet like I'm gonna be friends with this guy.
Right. You make more of an effort to hang out.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree because I definitely didn't do that, and like you change when you grow up, but I never like would bring somebody in that fast.
Yeah.
For whatever reason.
It just happened. It was
For whatever reason, this guy's like a piece of gum under your shoe.
You saw that on this.
Yeah, man. But like, I don't know. Were you like a straight A student in high school?
High school, yeah. I was. For growing up, I was never like the smartest kid. I always had to work hard. So like, once I got like the first taste of straight A's, I wanted to keep doing that. And from then on, it's just like, it feels good, you know? Like, it's a mental barrier, like getting that first straight A's. But once you get past it, you're like, I did it once. What's stopping me from doing it again, you know?
Over and over.
Yeah.
You know, especially because like once you get all those A's, like you know the path to to get it.
Yeah.
So it's like I do that path adjusted for like your different classes or whatever, but generally it's the same kind of path. You're like, I can replicate this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And what are you getting all those straight A's for? Well, like, what's your future like?
So what I'm majoring right now is in biology. Going to be a physician assistant.
Physician assistant.
Yeah.
What's that?
It's just like it's basically like a doctor, but in less time. And like what I liked about it was the work-life balance about it. Because a doctor you have to specialize, but as a PA you don't have to specialize. It's easier to switch field if you wanted to.
So what certifications do you need for that? You need a bachelor's?
You need a bachelor's, and then you go to PA school for depending on 2 years.
Okay. So you're allowed to like prescribe medications to everybody?
Exactly. You are basically the same responsibilities as a doctor. I'm dead. So basically, like same responsibilities, very similar to a doctor, but you're just working under a physician, which is hence physician assistant.
Yeah.
Like you're able to meet people, consult them, and even prescribe things. But you have like a set schedule, which is becoming very attractive right now, which is why PA school is very competitive nowadays.
So how does that kind of look like? Like, do you work at a specific like hospital, or is it just like where do you work?
Anywhere, like you can work with eye doctors. Like the biggest specialty right now is like dermatologists.
Okay.
Like they get paid the most, so that's the biggest specialty. So you work at an office, like you're saying, you can work hospital, basically wherever they need you. Like even some places, like they don't have doctors, but they have physician assistants because they basically do the same thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like, I'm assuming they don't have doctors and they have physician assistants because physician assistants don't get paid as much.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
But they can do basically the same thing a doctor can.
Exactly.
Damn it.
Oh, got it. That makes sense. So, but you don't get like a doctor, right? Or like you can, but then you...
Can I call you Dr. Andy?
I don't know if you can. I don't know. Like,
yeah, I don't know. Because then you would get a doctor and then you would specialize.
Yeah, you specialize.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, that definitely what I guess turned me off from being a doctor is just how long schooling is. Like
It's a lot.
it's a lot of school.
But it makes sense.
Yeah, like it's worth it for some people, but for me, I'm like,
Yeah.
I would prefer having the work-life balance. You know, like a set schedule. While doctors, you kind of have to be around the clock. Like if they need you, you need to go in. You know,
It's you live for them in a way.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that position wouldn't exist if people like you weren't like, oh, like I want to be there, but like I don't want to like fully be a doctor. You know, like you explain, like there's just a bunch of people out there that they need that, and the medical field needs it. So that's why that position exists.
Yeah.
But that's dope because whenever I hear like physician's assistant or like whatever like medical like description of like your job title, like, I never know what that means. Like I'm so like dumb to that field.
Yeah, I always have to look at it and be like, what is that?
What does that mean?
Please elaborate.
Yeah, for real.
So what about you, Pablo? I hear you're.
Oh yeah.
Changing
When you
majors.
walked in, you were kind of hit me with the I'm changing major.
Yeah.
Well, it's not like set yet, but
So what is
it's
your
just like,
major now?
so my major now, and I can't really declare it yet. And once I get into clinical business, right? But my major now is business management.
Okay.
So that essentially means like you're going into a business to be like manage and do like all the operation side, or just like really just learn how to manage the business and the people that work for the business, right? So, but I've been doing like a bunch of business classes, right? And one of them that sticks out a lot is the accounting class. And this is weird.
I mean, you've talked about that class like every time we meet up on campus. You're like, dude, accounting, like this class.
Because it takes so much time, bro. You don't even understand. It's so time consuming, and it's only 1 credit hour.
Damn.
You know what I mean?
That's weird.
Is it one of those classes where it's a 1 credit hour course but 3 credit hour like work?
Yes,
Yeah.
that's exactly what it is.
So is that where you're changing your major to, or thinking about changing your major to?
I've been seriously considering it for a little bit, and it didn't really come up until like a couple days ago when I started telling people. But like I like the class, and that's a class that whenever I'm in there, like I actually am focused like the whole hour to 10 minutes. You know, and like whenever the professor asks a question, I'm answering whenever I know it, and 90% of the time I answer it's right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I go to mentoring, and like that's really where I like learn it through mentoring, and I go to class and I just like dust off a few things.
So with that, what would be the difference between you graduating with a business management degree and an accounting degree?
Well, a lot. So when you, as in accounting, right? Like it's like you learn all like it's called like the language of business. Because like you learn like, oh, like what's revenue, what's an expense, what's this, what's that, and you learn how the cash flows through the business. Like when it comes in, when it goes out, how to report it to make sure you don't get like hit with fraud, and how to report it to like the IRS and all this craziness, right?
That kind of makes sense to what your specialty was in the Marine Corps. You kind of were the way you explained it to me. It kind of did. You like handle things and
Okay,
like
same concept, but not with money. But with people in person.
bombs.
Yes,
You can't disclose.
But I never got the opportunity to do that.
Okay.
But I could have done it. I just never got the opportunity to do that.
Okay.
But it's the same concept, except instead of like people and equipment moving that stuff around, you're moving around money.
Exactly. I was gonna
So
say
you
that.
wouldn't necessarily be the business owner. You would be the accountant to the business owner.
Right. But like an entrepreneur, right? They know a little bit of everything.
Mhm.
But I remember in one of the classes they were talking about like the top reasons why businesses fail, and then one of the number one, if not number one, one of the top three is poor accounting. It's not knowing how to account for your money and what to do with it.
Like not knowing where your money's going and how much you're getting.
Yeah, but if I major in that and I get that like solid, then I can learn everything else and I can go from there.
So would it really? This is kind of like a Pablo interview now.
Yeah. No, it's kind of, yeah.
Would it really affect you? So if you stay with your business management major, how much will it affect you if you don't change your major now compared to you changing your major like in a year? Like
Not much because it's a lot of the same classes. If anything, maybe just like a math class or two, but I'll still be able to graduate on time.
okay,
Yeah, but I'm only one semester in, so
yeah.
I'm more thinking about it now. Like, pretty sure that's what I want to do. Is just making that change is hard.
It's-
Like,
Yeah. I feel like always like making a change is difficult.
yeah.
Especially like I could think about like what made you guys start a podcast too. Like, I bet that was like a
I
leap
mean,
of
we-
faith, you know?
Yeah.
Just getting things-
Honestly, it kind of was because like we talked about it for like a decent amount of time, and we're like I mean, I feel like as kids we always kind of wanted to do something like this, like together, because like every time like we're together, we kind of like I don't know. I feel like we're the most creative when we're together.
Yeah, we always had a lot of fun together.
Yeah.
Ever since we were kids.
But like it kind of was like a leap of faith because when we first started, we're like, all right, let's do this. We got the mics, we got the recording audio. Well, we have the audio. We didn't necessarily have the video, but I mean, we're fifth video in. I think it's going pretty well.
You just gotta go for it sometimes, you know?
Yeah, and it's all about like just being consistent.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, and it's cool that we're able to get guests like you and Gab, who's the last guest, like to get people in
Involved.
early, and you guys get to see all the like the setup that's so like not that well put together, but it's put together enough for it to work. You know what I mean?
And speaking of a setup, yours truly, Andy, made our sign this week.
Oh yeah.
The beautiful PG Talks sign.
You can see my signature.
Yeah, there you go.
Not official signature, so.
This will be in NFT in a couple days.
Oh, that's something I want to talk about later too.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like, so you're not necessarily wanting to change your major now. You're still kind of like looking into it.
Well, I just started playing with that idea like about 2 weeks ago. Well, honestly, even less than that. So I'm still kind of like bouncing back and forth in my head. More than likely I will, but I just haven't got there yet.
But like as of now, like right now is the time to register for classes for spring classes. Are you registering for business major classes or accounting classes?
Well, they're all business classes, but it's still really generic now.
Because you're so early into your.
Right. Like my goal right now is to get into the Kelly School of Business. After that, and then you go through what's called the ICOR, which is like a whole thing in itself. And then you go to like your accounting classes into like a specific major. So it's really not until like you're a junior that you start getting up to like actual classes for your degree.
Yeah, which makes sense.
Yeah, so I'm so early on that it doesn't matter what class I take now. It's all to get to the school right now.
Yeah, well, that's good. It gives you time to figure out like if you really want to do the business management or the accountant.
And then I'm gonna take another accounting class in the next semester, so that at least
Is that
solidify either I really like it or just like the first class or I actually like accounting, you know?
yeah.
is that the class that you had that Excel like portion?
No, that's another class.
Okay.
You got done with that, now we're going to access. Yeah, so.
Excel's pretty fun to use when you know how to use it.
But it can get tricky as fuck.
Yeah.
Pablo's certified, so you can ask him.
Oh,
So, you need spreadsheets, like,
okay. You guys heard? you need Pablo to manage your money. There you go.
it will come with a charge. Just like,
Mm,
I'm not cheap.
dang, he's
A
that good.
bag of Sour Patch every hour.
But going back to the NFT thing, to kind of get it away from me.
I have that on here. Like, I don't know. What are your opinions on NFTs?
Well, it's just a start. Like, it's just like you're saying. Like I heard you guys last had a like podcast talking about NFTs. You're like, it's just a picture, right? But like, what's unique about this is like, you have one sole owner of it. Like it's yours. You can prove it that it's yours. You know.
Right.
And then this is just the beginning. I don't know if you guys heard about the metaverse. Like basically where we're gonna try to imitate like Player One, where it's basically like Sims, but
I heard a little bit about that.
and this is where NFTs we're starting to head in that direction.
And then have like basically like a player one, like a regular player one style, and it's like a virtual like museum.
Yeah.
With all the NFTs. You know.
So I know you're a lot more knowledgeable about NFTs than I am. Is it kind of like can you? So I know NFTs is like a picture. Are there any that like you can interact with?
Well, there's some like that. There's like you could change the characters of it. Like I don't know how to explain it. I don't know much to be honest. NFTs. I'm more about crypto.
Yeah.
I'm still like young in the
We'll speak on
NFT.
that after.
We're still early on the NFT journey. Yeah, but you can see people make a lot of money on NFTs just trading it. Like you buy it for one price and then literally next week it's like
Which is crazy though. Like there's so much BS, but at the same time it's got so much potential. Like the BS part, there's like a bunch of like influencers and YouTubers being like, "Oh, this NFT is worth this much." Like right now, I personally feel like they can put any price tag on it, and because they mentioned it and it's theirs, somebody's gonna buy it.
But who's to blame though? Like the people or the
But at the same time,
Yeah.
if somebody buys it, that's the worth.
exactly as I'm saying.
If someone's willing to pay that amount, then that's literally
That's what it's worth. Yeah.
Exactly.
Or it's like going back to like anything collectible, like Pokemon cards. Like it's just a piece of cardboard, but people
Yeah.
are playing 100.
But with that, it has more of a time like valuable to it because NFTs like barely started. I would say like I don't know how long it's been around, maybe a year or so. But like Pokemon cards have been here since like 1998. They have time value on them.
But it could be like a collectible thing. Like if you want to make money, you have to be early to the trend.
Which is true, yeah.
So like, what if somebody knew that Pokemon's gonna be big? You would buy a lot of Pokemon cards before. And-
But in that explanation, like if somebody knew Pokemon cards were going to be big, they'd buy it. But at the point that they bought it, the Pokemon cards aren't big. They knew they were going to get big in the future. Right now, NFTs are big, like starting off.
But like, are they really? Because like,
I mean, somebody sold their NFT for like $16 million, I think.
yeah, I know, but it's like with NFTs, like, it's just harder to think about it because it's more like digital space
Yeah.
versus like actually holding up the physical card, like collectible. You know, so it's like, what are the internet without? You know, like what are the servers where because it's got to be like housed somewhere, right? In some server somewhere.
Is it?
So where do those go down?
Is it not sort of like a PDF thing? Is it like something on a server that you have to look at with internet? You can't have it like a PDF version?
Well, you can get it for internet, right?
You can, I guess, there's a markets on the internet, but you can take it off the market.
So like
you don't
once-
need internet to access
Yeah.
it. You know.
That's interesting. I mean, like this day and age, technology, that's the future. Like, I feel like NFTs are going to be around for like a long time.
Exactly. This is just the beginning too. Like even like talking about cryptocurrency, like the government doesn't even know how to classify it. That's how early we like people are to it. Like
China's banned it like 5 times.
and,
Yeah,
and-
but that's all like fun.
yeah, but China bans everything good. So
Yeah, so they can make their own copies. Make their own copies. But like, with the crypto thing, dude, I literally just lost my train of thought.
He was talking about well, I said China about banning crypto, and then
oh, we talk about the NFT still, like the metaverse. Like that's gonna be a big thing. Like Facebook is trying to rebrand themselves to start moving into the metaverse direction.
I
And
So to people who don't know what the metaverse is, can you kind of explain it to them?
it's basically like a world you live in, but in the internet, I guess you can say. Digital world. It's a virtual world. And then you could build up have a house, meet up people there. It's almost
Like Sims,
yeah, basically like Sims. Exactly like Sims, but now you're actually in it.
but with actual value into it.
Which is
It's like VR, right?
it's like VR, exactly.
So have you ever seen the movie Ready Player One?
I've heard about it, but I've never seen it.
It's really good. I would recommend watching it.
Actually, I think I have seen it. Well, I feel like it's kind of a sort of a like a movie that I've seen before, where they kind of get stuck into like dark. No, I think that's Wreck-It Ralph.
Okay, remember the Spy Kids movie?
Oh,
Yes, there you go.
okay.
Just like that.
That makes a lot of
There you
sense.
go. Literally, that's what it is, bro.
So what happens when you die? You lose all your lives.
I don't know. That's a
You
I don't know.
lose all
It's
your
just early,
NFTs.
but also with NFTs too. Like, you know how you play video games. Like, you know how you spend so much time or like trying to level up.
Bro, in GTA, I'm a billionaire.
Like, you know, you should spend so much time trying to build up, and you're not able to get any compensation for all that time you spent on the game. But with
So in that, you can actually get compensation from it.
exactly, like
Interesting.
you could sell if you let's say you unlock something, you could go sell it as an NFT. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So would that come back as like actual like
Money for you.
like dollars?
Yeah.
So would there be like consequences of those? Like, well, if you mess up, obviously, like, you can die, this and that. Like, in there, obviously, you can die. So,
Yeah. Like
Oh, I
how
was just
would
talking about NFTs. Oh, it's separate from the metaverse.
how exactly like I mean I know it's really early, but how exactly would that be taxed?
Oh, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
that's just another big debate. Like, we don't know how to classify. The government doesn't even know how to classify it yet. That's how early
Yeah.
it is.
right.
And actually, like a big thing was like they were trying to clarify the definition of all this
Because that's
cryptocurrency.
all that stuff is so tricky, especially with the metaverse. Like how you explain if you wanted to sell something, turn it like as an NFT. Like how do you classify it as a short term gain or like a long term gain?
Well, it's like anything. Like if you sell it right away, short term gain. Oh, obviously, what you're talking about, like how long you
Yeah,
spent
like
on it.
how do they know like when you got it like in the game and like how long? Yeah, it's just a bunch of.
It's like you see how new this is. Like because we have so many questions about it, we don't
Yeah.
know how everything works yet. That's pretty
It's
interesting.
crazy because we're in a generation like a transitional generation. You know? Transition from all the old ways and getting into the new stuff and setting the foundation of all this new stuff. So it's like we may not even know that in our lives what things have happened.
We should make a PG talk NFT.
Ooh.
Once it's never takes off, it's
What are you saying? If it's when it takes off. Come on.
Because I've listened to some podcasts about this guy. I think he was a famous, I don't know his name, but he was a famous artist, and he sold his album as an NFT, which is interesting because like with I don't know. He did?
Yeah. If not, no, he came out with like an NFT line.
I can kind of see him doing that. But like the way this artist like explained it, he sold his album as an NFT, and that specific NFT was interactable. Like his album was in the NFT. Like it's hard for somebody to grasp how that's worth more than just going on Spotify and listening to his album, because like some people don't really understand that NFTs, that specific like code that the NFT has engraved into it is worth like he sold the album for I think it was $16 million. So like that specific coding on the NFT is worth $16 million.
Well, okay, so then transfer that to something like tangible. Wouldn't that be like the Mona Lisa? Like you can maybe
No.
to the Mona Lisa.
Ooh.
You know,
Because wait, can you kind of explain?
yeah, like the Mona Lisa is the album with coding, and then you can get the album on Spotify, or you can just get like look at the Mona Lisa and print it off on a piece of paper. Still the Mona Lisa, but not really. You know what I mean?
Which is tricky because it's a different comparison because the Mona Lisa has like time on it. It has like time.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying it's the same concept. As far as like
Yes.
why it's valued so high, why that NFT like why would an NFT matter?
So I think to try and answer your question, I think the reason the Mona Lisa is worth so much is because of the time, and the reason the NFT is worth so much is because of that certain engravement it has on it. Like, so if somebody, I think some people are even like asking or like selling 100 of the same NFTs, but each one is like marked number 1 through 100. And
So
like
like when a new shoes come out, like I know you're really big into shoes. So would that be like similar to where like when like Jordan comes out or like whatever comes out with shoes and there's only like 100 of them. So the price skyrockets, and then if you get your hands on one of them, the resale value is pretty crazy.
Exactly.
and like
Same
with
concept.
with that explanation, like somebody can do the 1 through 100, sell them as like maybe like VIP passes in a way for like concerts. That NFT has a specific QR code that when you go to that concert, they scan it and it shows that it's legit. Somebody could easily take a picture of that QR code, they scan it, it's gonna show it's not legit. You get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, and then like those people who own those the 1 through 100 NFTs, each 1 through 100 is worth its set amount, and the person who owns it can sell it to somebody else for a different amount, and then they don't have it anymore. They do, but they have the access of the like VIP for that specific explanation.
Damn, look at Widow. He's an expert. He knows more than he knows more than we
I
thought.
watch a lot of podcasts.
He said. He let loose.
Time to shine.
Yeah, dude, honestly, my dad's had a fast conversation.
Dang. But yeah, we should start early. We got so much to learn, so much to understand and grasp of how these NFTs work or how cryptocurrency works.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, when did you start getting into crypto?
I think literally this year. For me, I was like, I wanted to look for something different, like make your money work for you type. And then I saw crypto was like a big thing, so I was like, I started doing research, and I was like, you hear about Bitcoin, Ethereum, you hear about these big ones, but there's a lot more to it, People just see the gains behind it, like, yeah, you can make money.
People see the coins that go from 0 to 1,000% in a day and be like, yes, I'm doing this.
Yeah.
It's like, no, that's not the reason you should be doing it.
Yeah, because it's like the bigger reason is like is decentralized. This is new technology that can really change how everything works. Like just think about currency, like fiat money. Like we're printing out so much money right now. We're gonna experience inflation eventually.
The more we print out, the less it's going to be worth.
Exactly. And with cryptocurrency, it's just a set amount. Like Bitcoin, it's gonna be a finite amount of Bitcoin.
Eventually, there's going to be like all the Bitcoins are going to be mined, and only that's when they're going to be worth the most, because there's no more that can be made at all.
Right.
Like all this, it's also like the technology behind it too. You know how the government, we have to just trust the government that that our money keeps its value. Like, but anytime they could be like, oh, we're shutting down the government. You could take away all your money. You could close your bank accounts.
Yeah.
Or like at any time they can send out what are those called? Send us money. What was it that they sent us? Yeah, at any time they can send out a stimulus check, and then the value of the money is gonna like become a lot less. Because like everybody got stimulus checks, and then like you're seeing now, like places are offering to like pay people $15 an hour. Like a year ago, that was nuts.
Yeah.
Or there's McDonald's somewhere here. It's 21.
21.
Yeah. $21, imagine.
Think about the inflation.
At
coming out of
McDonald's?
that.
Yeah, dude. Well, I mean, just prices for everything.
It's been going up. Yeah.
But like back to the Bitcoin thing, it's crazy because I remember in high school when we were hanging out with our friends in the lunchroom. I remember one specific friend was like, "Dude, Bitcoin, like Elon." I don't think he said it, Elon Musk. But he's like, "Dude, Bitcoin, like crypto." And I was looking at it back then, and I'm like, "Dude, I should have bought some Bitcoin." Well, I was working. I was still working, but like, I mean, we'd spend all our money on eating out. I was like, crypto. I was like, what the heck is that? But now looking at it, I'm like, dang.
You had the opportunity to have like so much money. Yeah.
Do you know anybody else that does crypto? Or is it just kind of like us?
Just you guys.
Really?
Yeah. Well, some of my other friends also like showed interest into it, but I'm not sure how far they took it.
That's it. As far as you know, it's just interest.
Yeah. I think some of them even bought some, but like maybe they lost money. Like Dogecoin, like you know how that went up.
They bought it at the hype, and they don't really like, look into it anymore.
Yeah. Or they, some people bought at the high and they sold when it started crashing down. Like
Yeah.
Paper hands.
yeah. But yeah.
Yeah, I try to listen to as much much podcasts as I can to like get more informed about everything, especially with like NFTs and like not Coinbase, but like crypto. I really listen to Graham Stefan's podcast, Iced Coffee Hour, because like he has a bunch of interesting people that go on there and explain like what they do and like what certain things are. So like yeah,
You listen to Graham Stephan at all?
I used to watch a lot of his YouTube videos. I just watch a lot of crypto updates. Like a lot of people
Updates.
talk about like what's gonna happen, what's going on with the market, or explaining different coins. You know?
Yeah. So is that something you stayed active on since you started?
Yeah. Just because if you put your money into it, you're gonna worry about it. You know, you're gonna be like,
Yeah.
because you want to see, of
I mean,
course.
some people do.
Yeah, some people do. Yeah, like me putting my money into it, I was just like, I need to be committed to it because I'm risking my money here.
Right.
You know, but I'm also learning. I still have to learn what I'm investing in because if I put my money blind in, it could just crash any moment. You know, you have to believe in whatever you're investing in, right?
Yeah. It's literally just like the stock market, but it's more on the digital crypto space.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's exactly why you should look up to what you're investing in, because last thing you want to do is invest into Dogecoin and have your profits go like 50% negative.
Unless you find a good time when the hype's gonna be get it right after the hype and sell during the hype.
Yeah.
Dang. That's how some people get burnt. Like they put so much money and then next thing you know it crashes. Yeah.
That's literally another gambling.
And then those specific people are like, "Oh, crypto is like a scam. I lost all this money." It's like, bro, you bought at the peak and sold at the low.
Or they find their information from like big mainstreams like Instagram, TikTok, and they're like, oh, this is gonna be a big return, so they just put their money in it, but they don't understand what they're investing in. Like,
Yeah, and I feel like as soon as it's on like TikTok or like the mainstream news, it's too late. It's already hyped up. It's about to dip.
You talking about Dogecoin?
Or like any coin, because like when Dogecoin was on SNL, it like halved.
Well, that's when I got there.
I was like, why did he get it? I was like, you should wait.
I was watching that live and I just watched the price. I was
Like, I think the prime time to sell would have been like a day or two before.
the prime time. It would have probably the prime time would have been like literally right before SNL started, because they were, as the episode was going on, Elon Musk wasn't talking about Dogecoin. And the longer it was going, people were, oh, screw this, I'm selling. Yeah.
But now you know, you learned your lesson, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's not bad. It's just in case it doesn't happen.
Oh.
But it's there. Article money in there. Some people leave it there.
Well, shoot. Yeah.
What are you investing in? Do you invest? You invest in cryptocurrency, right?
I have Bitcoin, Ethereum, Polygon, and Cardano. I have Doge and VeChain, and then I have Ethereum on a different app. Well, I have Doge and VeChain on a separate app too.
Things
But my main app is Coinbase.
you've been all over the place.
Yeah.
That's nice. Diversifying.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and it's pretty interesting, like learning all these technology, all these different coins are being used for. Like VeChain is using for supply chain. Like it could help. You know how a lot of things are counterfeited, but VeChain allows you to track where this product comes from, where the resources come from. Or Chainlink is like a oracle. Like it gives you like accurate data, you know, and it's fast data. It's like all these different technologies you can use. It's not just about the gains. It's about the technology that could really change
It's about the potential of it.
potential.
Yeah.
You know?
uses one of those.
I think it's VeChain. I think it's VeChain.
Yeah. So it's like that's a real example of companies using cryptocurrency for its like potential for what it does.
Exactly.
Like that's pretty cool.
Or like Ethereum becoming like a big, the Web 3.0, you know? And like a big talk about is like becoming, the big thing about cryptocurrency is that it's decentralized, meaning no one person controls it. Like the government controls our money. Like
The government.
that's kind of scary, leaving all our fiat in control of hands of government, you know?
All your hard-earned money, they get yours, but the banks gambling it, doing whatever with it, and then they give it back to you at this point.
Or they like, or banks, they take advantage of their money. They lend it out. They make money off of that. But how come you can't do that? But with cryptocurrency, it allows you to do these things. Or even like the simplest thing, like doing overseas transfers, is difficult. Like if you're trying to send a lot of money overseas, the banks would be like, "Why are you trying to send this money?" Like, or it might take days to get there.
They're gonna be like, "Oh, give me a portion of that."
Or yeah, they're gonna give you for the service. But then if you do it through cryptocurrency, it could be like this quick, and it's cheaper. It could be cheaper, faster, and it doesn't have to go through anybody but you and the person.
Right.
And that's kind of crazy how. That's why like I feel like the government's a little iffy about seeing cryptocurrency or the banks, because it's gonna change the whole system. It has the potential.
Yeah. Well, it really is. It's a potential like with the people behind it.
That's interesting.
Look at this guy. Well, shoot. So we don't spend the whole episode talking about crypto. I've got some more questions for you, Andy, that I really want to know. Well, on the topic of crypto, you have to obviously have money to invest into crypto. And my question for you is, how do you make your money?
Me? I'm not a drug dealer, bro.
Be honest.
I had a lot of money.
What do you sell?
Rumors are what?
What do you sell?
I know exactly how you call these people.
Nah. I feel like most of it just come from my savings. Like
Okay, yes, you have savings, but how did that money get to your savings?
working. What do you mean?
Yes, but like,
Pow.
that's how you do it.
But I feel like no, because the majority of my money, like when I worked over the summers, I would save the majority of my money. Like,
Okay, that makes sense.
so I wouldn't.
Instead of us going out to like going out to eat with guys, you just be smart about it.
Basically saving as much as I could.
I guess that makes sense. Yeah, we didn't really save any money. I guess you were pretty smart with your money.
It was
Good
alright.
job.
Not since day one. I think feeling younger, I was like growing up, like you spend a lot of more money on whatever things you can, you
Food.
know, food, going out, more things.
Yeah, because it's like your first taste of being able to do what you want.
Yeah.
So then you're like, I'll just do whatever, like literally whatever I want.
Yeah, I bought my first TV as a kid with my own money, dude. I had that TV like years. I gave it away a month ago. I bought it like when I was probably 16. Yeah, I realize it now.
You're like, when you work for things, you value it more, you know? That's why you held on for
Yeah,
so
dude.
long.
I even had the tape on it for like probably 4 years.
Dang, bro. Yeah.
Like you know, when like did that.
Yeah.
I took it to me on my first year at college too, and like in the car, I had it wrapped in blankets. I made sure it was in a really safe spot, and when I was driving like an old lady.
You see, it's like that. It's like with any investment, it's like your money you're playing here. It's like your baby now because you want to take care of that, you know?
You want to take care of that.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
when did you take it off before you gave it away?
I did.
You were like, I need to get the satisfaction.
I wanted to have that satisfaction. I'm like, yes.
You said before giving it away, you said.
Yeah. It peeled off exactly like it would peel off when the first day you got it. Yeah. But then we got the new TV and we didn't really use it, so I'm like, you know what? It's really hard to turn on anyways. We lost the controller, or we broke the controller. So I'm like, it's time for a new TV.
What was it, rage quit? Or what happened?
Honestly, dude.
Dang.
No, Gabby sat on it. Okay, that was a lie. She's gonna kill me. She's gonna watch this.
Too late now. You already said it.
It fell onto the floor into my dorm room. That's how it broke.
That's tough.
But Gabby sat on it.
Don't worry, you got couches to choose from.
Well, one of them was broken. No, it broke even more. They were over the other day watching a scary movie. In the middle of the scary movie, you just hear a crack, like a really loud wooden, like just wood break in the middle of the scary movie. And I looked over, and Andy and Anwar were like,
Oh man,
was that the couch?
it was literally in the middle of the whole movie. Like it was like we were like, and then next thing you know, I just feel poop. I was like,
I thought it was something from the movie, or like I thought I was gonna look over and you guys were gonna be like midair floating or something. But yeah, the two beams on the bottom are officially on the floor.
dang.
Oh, so it's now a futon.
So it's what?
A futon.
Basically. Yeah. Yeah, but shoot. Do you have any questions before I ask him this one?
Yeah, so I think it's a pretty interesting one. When you went to Mexico, remember when you tell us a story where we were sitting in the car?
Oh man.
What were you doing in the car, Andy?
Look, so what happened was I went to Mexico this summer, and it was a fun trip. It was definitely a humbling experience. You know how it's a very different lifestyle from here and over there.
It's like getting back to your roots, like your ancestors and your family.
Yeah, exactly. Which was nice to be exposed to that culture and experience how they lived. You know, and actually seeing family for the first time. But being there, I had a lot of experiences there. For example, the one Pablo was trying to bring up was one time my cousin and I were out driving around, right? So it was their anniversary. So he went to go get flowers for his girlfriend, right? And I just waited in the car, I was just jamming out to music, and then I look to my right side, and I'm just like, and you see somebody with a ski mask with a gun, and I'm like, I was just literally chilling there. Next thing you know, somebody's getting like,
You're like, I'm about to get kidnapped.
bro, like I like at that point I was like, I can't do anything. Like what am I gonna do?
This is it. This is how I go.
Literally, it was like probably like 15 feet away from where I was sitting in the car.
Wait, somebody else was getting robbed?
Somebody else was getting robbed. Like so you know how they drove in front of the truck, they stopped the truck, and you see like two people come out, one with a gun, and I was like, what's going on here? And I'm just here jamming out to music, and then I make straight eye contact with this person. I'm like, and I go back to my phone, bro.
Heck, I would have been scared.
Bro, think about it. You're in a whole different country. You're seeing all these things. I've never been in this situation.
It's not across the street. It's like 15 feet away.
Literally, I'm just like, I literally made eye contact with the person.
With the guy holding
A gun, yeah.
So you were in the car. Were you in the back seat?
No, I was in the car. I was in the passenger seat.
Did you kind of look at it and be like, and just lock the door?
No, my window was down. Everything was
Oh,
like I can't do anything at this point. Like, what am I gonna do? If I try running, he could easily
Just shoot you.
Exactly. I literally just minded my business and looked away.
See,
Yeah,
I
like, that's not
think
true.
the reason that happened is because you can't get that. I feel you went back to that's how I was in school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dang.
No, this guy's not gonna tell anybody.
Yeah, because he's like, oh shit, I said witness.
Yeah.
And like rob you or something.
If I saw his face, probably,
Oh, yeah.
ski mask, But still,
Yeah, but regardless.
could have easily walked up to me. He was literally,
That's crazy how any second can like matter. Like if you stare at him for like maybe like 2 more seconds, you probably wouldn't be here right now.
Yeah, you're looking a little longer. You're like, what's this staring at?
like, what's your problem? Like, what are you trying to? Yeah.
So did they end up robbing that person?
They actually opened the truck and they didn't find anything they wanted, so
Anything valuable? They're
Nothing
just like, oh, this guy
valuable.
doesn't have anything. Let's dip.
they literally just dipped.
Dang.
So then afterwards, did you look at that guy who got robbed or was like,
Yeah. What'd that guy do?
Like I just drove away. It's actually in this town. It was like it's kind of common at this point now.
He's like, dang, regular Monday.
But yeah, and it was the crazy part was because it was in the morning, like broad daylight, like when it's busy, and you would think they would do it like when it's night, when no one's around. Yeah, it was broad daylight. You could see everything going on, and that was like the crazy
That's how
part.
when you know that happens pretty often.
Yeah,
Dang. So is that what kind of like where your family lives?
but yeah, it was literally like 5 minutes of where I stayed at.
Dang.
It was definitely. My parents were telling me that it was like different growing up. It's because a lot of things, over the time.
A bunch of stuff changed.
Yep, stuff changed. Yeah.
Yeah.
But overall, it's still calm. You don't mess with anybody. They don't mess with you. But if you
If you look at him for too long, you might get robbed.
you never know. But yeah. But generally, if you stick around people, nothing's gonna happen.
Yeah.
But yeah.
The first time I read that story, I was like sweating. Just to hear you tell it, like my hands were getting like wet. Oh god, dude, like.
That's scary.
I don't know how I would do this.
I'm sweat. My hands are sweaty right now.
It was like my thought process was like, I'm in a whole different country. Like, what am I gonna do? Like, I can't fight this guy. So I just like went back to listening to music. I was literally jamming out. I was just like, if my time is here, it's here.
This is it. This is how I go.
Yeah.
You text Pablo real quick. Hey man.
Hey man.
It was nice meeting you.
But have you guys been to Mexico at all?
I think last time we went is when we went together.
Yeah, we were kids. I was like, bro, I was like 10.
Yeah, I was like 8 years old.
Mm.
Yeah, I don't remember much. I remember sitting outside our Andi's and going in the river and then just playing in the river. It was like
Dude.
waterfall and things like that.
I don't know if you remember this, but that same day I took a crap like on the side of the river.
Yeah, I do.
I was telling Dad, I gotta go. And he's like, are you there? So I was like, okay, there's literally nowhere else I gotta go, and I have to go. So I went to the side and took a dump. I honestly don't remember how I wiped either.
You were like, no, what if Pablo was in front of you?
That is what he told me. He said just go down there and like.
Well, yeah, because if you go ahead of us, the water's flowing towards us.
You get like a little turd just slap you.
You're like, this water tastes kind of funny.
Yeah, but that was the last time I went to Mexico. I think Dad and our sisters have been there back like a couple times, but me and you, we haven't been there back since.
I haven't been since, dude.
You guys plan on going back?
Yeah, I want to.
Eventually, yeah.
I want to visit your parents' family, and I want to visit my parents' family.
Yeah, I want Gabby to meet my family over there.
Okay, that's nice.
Yeah, it'd be cool, but I don't know when that's gonna happen.
Yeah, I would
Honestly,
say going as a kid is different, you know, because you don't get the whole experience because you're just a kid, you know. You're young. Your parents do the talking for you. They do most of the things for you. Like you guys were still playing like 10 years old, right?
Yeah.
But now,
You don't appreciate it.
yeah. Oh, that scared me. Otis, that scared me. Got a special guest too.
hey, buddy.
But yeah, going back to the Mexico thing, like being an adult now, like older, like you see the whole perspective, you get the whole picture of how people are actually living in different places.
Because like as a kid, like for example, when we would go, our grandpa owns like a soda shop.
Yeah,
Like-
that's really attached to his house.
Like as kids, we were like, "Hey, can I get like a bag of chips?" He's like, "Okay, cool." Like if I'd go back there now and I asked him for that without paying for it, I'm like, "Dang, I'm really taking this man's money."
Yeah.
Well, I was like that. I think I tried to give him stuff like money, but he would never take it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think my grandpa also has a little store on his head. Yeah,
Mexican.
I feel like everybody does, and it's like this man's making his living off of this. So like, and he's like, you can get anything you want. I'm like, but I'm gonna pay you though, because you have to make an income somehow, you know. Like I know he's trying to be nice, and you know, first time going back, they're like, oh, get whatever you want. I'm like, no, just leave the money there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't know, like, I would like to go back just to see how everything is.
I feel
Because we have like
Experience it real.
yeah.
we have a bunch of cousins over there that we've never met, or a bunch of cousins that when we were there, they were like they couldn't even walk, and now they're like married with kids.
Yeah. That's a fact.
That's so true. That's so weird. Cause talking about that, like not meeting family, like I didn't even know the faces of my aunts and uncles. Like either going for the first.
Because most of your family's in Mexico.
Yeah, and it was like even getting out the plane, so a family member has to pick you up. I'm gonna be honest, I didn't even recognize who was picking me up.
They had
They just came up to us and hugged us, and I was like, oh, this is a family member. But I
guess I should be
literally. Yeah, bro. And I was like, I didn't even piece it together until afterwards. I was like, oh, this is my uncle. This is my aunt, you know?
And you feel a little weird being like,
Yeah, like
how are you related?
like even though they're family, they're strangers. And
realistically, they're strangers because you've never met them before.
Yeah.
Like for example, on Facebook, I get a bunch of friend requests from like cousins in Mexico, and like I would like show mom and dad, be like, "Who's this?" Oh, that's your cousin. I'm like, never met him in my life.
it's so crazy. Yeah, like literally all the cousins I met now, they're all younger. So when I went, they weren't even born yet. Cause I'm like the second oldest of the whole family, like from the from my parents' siblings. Does that make sense?
Your parents were like one of the first ones in their family that had kids.
Yeah, I was the second oldest born. So yeah. So everyone else was younger than me. So I got to meet
So everyone
everybody.
looks up to you.
Kind of, I guess. I don't know.
It's a lot of pressure.
Yeah, I barely know them. Yeah. But I would say, I feel like for you guys going out, I feel like you guys would get a whole different perspective.
Yeah, I feel like
Yeah.
we really would.
And yeah. Like, what were you going to say? I say coming back, I was just like, that was the lifestyle they had. Like, you learn how they lived, you know, you appreciate the culture more. And like, now I just want to go back because it was honestly enjoyable. It's a whole different experience.
Yeah. It's like looking at it through a different lens.
Yeah.
You know, because now you're like an adult and you kind of like, you know what it's like here and you go back and you appreciate it. Oh, this is how I live here, this is what I got, and you appreciate what you have.
Yeah.
Just like culture being over there. That's dope.
Yeah. I want to talk about one more thing before we end for the last topic. So obviously we met we were friends before you met my sister Alma. So I kind of want to get into the topic about how you and Alma like became like boyfriend and girlfriend.
All right. So,
Like how did that go? How'd you guys meet?
do they know who Alma is?
Huh?
Do you know?
Oh, yeah, they do.
It's long.
Llama. Yeah. She's our sister. But yeah, how did you go from working out with us, squatting 315 to dating our sister?
I have okay. I meant to talk about that. So, 15.
What
This guy
13?
squats 315 for 20 reps.
Ooh, there's a video out there somewhere.
Well, you have it?
It's on his Instagram. We'll have his link in the description.
Ooh, but you guys can check it out.
Oh, facts. Yeah.
But yeah, so
Yep.
coming back to that, meeting your sister, I feel like, so what happened was that Amo, their sister, moved in with Pablo, and then since Pablo lives near my house, so I'm always like hanging out with them, you know. And then one night she comes home, I meet her, and then I feel like it's a whole story, bro. It's a whole story, cause like I feel like everything had aligned perfectly for this to even happen. Like I first had to meet you guys, your sister had to move in with you guys, and then the only reason I got into contact with her was because their car actually broke down. And then everybody's phone was on low percentage, and I think I had the highest percent. No, bro, I swear. No, everybody swears, bro.
Andy's like,
He was just being sly.
No,
I was like, you want to have this? So I gave him my number.
bro, bro, no.
Karen had like 4%. I had like 10. This dude had like 6.
Why are you capping, bro? Like literally, you had like 3%. Karen had like 4%. I know I had like 6. All of us were below 10.
Okay, yeah, it's this is bro. I think I had the highest.
Bro,
You showed me photos. I should just said like, you gotta have the
no, you do not have the eyes. But in my head, I remember you having Karen having the lowest.
in my head.
Or whatever. It doesn't matter now. It's in the past. So I got the number, but like, and then I was like, I didn't do anything with it because I was like, whatever. And then next thing you know, I actually go meet your parents, your whole family.
Yeah, that's funny. You met our parents before you even started dating her.
Yeah, and then on the car ride there, we were listening to music, and I was like, oh, she kind of likes the same music I like. So I was like, so I compiled a little old playlist I had, sent it to her. She listened to it, and then we started talking a little bit, like, and then I brought up Boba, and then next thing you know, I asked her if she wanted to hang out, and then next thing you know, we go hang out as friends. There was nothing attached, just to get on her a little bit more, because I was gonna hang out with her regardless,
Yeah, I mean, it was gonna happen like.
It was bound to happen, yeah.
Because Karen talked about Anna to you, and I talked about Anna. I talked about Anna to Anna, just like joking around. Like, because you're literally like about to see me. Like,
Yeah.
Like you're interchangeable. You know what I mean? So we just started joking around, this and that.
Yeah, we joked about you guys dating before you started dating.
Like,
And then it
Karen, like literally, like the second, like I think a weekend, she was like, "Oh, I have somebody you can meet," and I was like, "All right." But then, so what happens? Like we hang out, we weren't expecting anything, which is like none of us were like me her. She was actually telling me that she was like, because they're telling me I should date him, I'm not gonna date him, I almost like denying it, Yeah. Yeah. And then for me, I was just like, trying to be a friend, right? And then next thing you know, we just hang out. We actually spend a lot of time talking, and it was like maybe that's what made it easy, because we didn't have any expectations going into it. We were just talking, and everything just flowed smoothly. And then next thing you know, after one boba, there was another boba. We went to a different boba place, and then we just kept talking. It was like I feel like it naturally happened. It wasn't like.
Yeah, I think so too. Even though we all kind of like joke about it, talk about it, I think it was like between you guys.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It wasn't like you continually forcing us to hang out or anything. It was just like.
Those type of situations are really weird. Like when like a brother or a specific person has a friend that wants to date one of their friends just so they could like be a part of their friend group. They just put those two people in really awkward situations.
I can just say that, like literally ever since you kind of came here, everything happened like a good time. Because like I only knew you for like 2 months or so before you started dating Anna, and it's like it's not like you are and were a friend, like you are a friend, and but it's like you were a childhood friend.
Yeah.
So you were just like new
enough.
where like it didn't really matter, but you were still friends, so like weird. But it's like I've known you for like 10 plus years.
Yeah.
And now you're dating my sister's girl now.
Yeah.
So it's like just kind of him in the perfect time.
So if I've known you for longer, it would have been more difficult. You were saying a little bit more awkward.
I think so.
I feel like
Yeah.
because like
Because I think well, also you're also like a different person.
you're a well put together guy.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. You're very mature. But I think I'm thinking about like what if those were in high school?
Yeah, that'd be very
And
awkward.
they're so okay, they're cool. You guys will see it. They're really the ones. Shout out to this is that's
Yeah, I mean we're an hour in. I doubt like.
yeah. But if you're still here, shout out to other ones. But yeah, it's just not like what I would consider one of my siblings dating. You know what I mean? So.
See, I'm telling you, everything had to align perfectly. But I was saying it just happened naturally. I guess you could say we just talked, and then I feel like it was really easy to talk to her. You know, it's not like I was out to be like, oh, I want her to be my girlfriend. I want to make her my girl. No, I was just like, if it happens, it happens. You know, and that's what basically what happened. Like we just hang out more, and next thing you know, we spent more time texting, talking, and then it just went from there.
Yeah, and like you said, you didn't really go into it with any expectations.
Yeah, and I feel like that's what helped probably create that connection a little quicker because there was no barriers or you're trying to like show off or put up a front. You know, it was just like I was being me.
Yeah, you're like, oh, this is me. If you accept me, you accept me. If you don't, you
But
don't.
the same thing with her. She was just being her because she was no expectations every time. You know.
Because like that day you guys met, you were comparing one and a half. You're in one of some of my classes.
Yeah.
And she should have gone home from work. You know, so it's like you guys didn't like dress up to go see each other. You guys just kind of showed up like that's what's up.
Nice. That answers my question.
So how did you guys feel about that when you heard about it?
About you and Alma dating? Honestly, I saw it coming.
Yeah, we got joked about it, so it's like when
So-
it happens, it's like I was really surprised.
Yeah. Us joking about it kind of like prepared us for if it actually happened. So like I kind of already had it imagined in my head. I'm like, Andy and Alma dating. You know what? I can see it happening.
I can't say at first I did get like my feelings a little like weird, but I think for me that's just because I was away from the military. I was away in the military for 4 years, so it's like I didn't have that much of a connection with my siblings as far as like being a person. So like seeing that, I'm like, oh shit! Like last time I left, she was only like 14. You know, 4 years later, being 18, turning 19, completely different person. Like who the fuck are you? Kind of thing. Like I don't even know. I don't know. I mean,
It's like you're getting to know her
as an adult.
You're
becoming an adult.
Yeah.
Versus early teenager, like you know, you running around fucking head cut off.
chicken with their head cut off.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, well, we're approaching the hour mark. I think.
It's a little bit past our mark, according to my mind.
Oh yeah, hour and 3 minutes.
According to mine, it's past an hour too.
Oh shit. Well, the outros for guests or the outros for videos with guests, we just have the guest outro it.
All right.
Before we do you have any questions for us?
Not really. I feel like we covered a lot of topics. If we're not, we can make a part 2. We
There
come back.
you go.
I definitely feel like we're gonna have to do a couple more with you. At one point, it's just kind of like you'll be a reoccurring guest.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, because we got a lot of stuff, and I feel like we're gonna try to get a couple like 40.
Yeah.
Yeah. We just have so much to talk about.
Yeah,
And we don't want to really make this like a 3-hour long podcast.
We just go to the fast.
Yeah.
Just go as long as we can.
Part-
And then I convert until my phone cuts out on the video storage, and then we lose all the footage.
And then we've been talking this whole time and it did that like at 30-minute mark.
Well, I deleted a bunch of stuff, so it literally filled up like 75% the space.
Oh, that should be good then.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, well, that was 5th episode of the PG Talk. Andy, you want to outro us out?
All right. So that's the conclusion of episode 5. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Peace out.
Peace. Hell yeah.